Hey guys, Mr. Call Center here with my boy Drew back with another video. I just want to thank everybody so much for listening to our content, for the questions and comments you've been leaving. At the end of the day, it's not just about hearing us talk and ramble on about our experience. It's also about helping you answer your questions and getting you ahead. For today's topic, we're going to cover a couple of points. We're going to talk about the ebook that's coming up soon later on at the end of the video. But for now, the topic that we're going to cover is how to get ahead in a call center. Now, there's a lot of factors that can play into this. I know that a lot of you do not have friends, VPs, or anything like that you know in a company. So the tricky part is how to get ahead without having the connections when you first get in. Now, what I'm going to cover is the politics of it all. Whenever you go into a big call center, a big corporation, let's say that you go to a big, huge medical group, Tesla, something like that. And you have different levels, different positions that you're trying to get ahead to. Remember, with a big corporation, everyone's got their favorites, whether they're managers, whether they're managers, whether they're people, everyone's got their own people that they talk to, that they speak with, and everyone's got their favorites. So, one of the best things to do is to politic, make friends. Sometimes it's not about knowing how many people, but knowing the right people. It's not always a numbers game, but the more people that you know and make friends with, the better chances you have, because not only can these people warn you about things that are coming up, but the more people like you, the more that they feel, good around you, the safer they think. You know what? This guy, everyone knows this guy, this person. Let's go ahead and make him a manager. Let's go ahead and make it a level two. Different positions, but a way to increase is to make as many friends as possible. Because the friendlier you are, the more people know you. And the more people know you, your name is going to come up to the people upstairs, whether they're VPs or whatever. Whoever does the promotions, they're going to hear about you. And then they're going to be, a lot of recommendations. This guy, he's a good person, or she's a good person, working hard. Everybody likes him. And that's what you want in a leadership position, someone that's friendly with everybody. Because remember, when you're in a leadership position, people are going to be looking up to you. And eventually, you're going to get into a situation or a place where you're above everyone else and you're not on the phones anymore, or you don't have to look after people anymore. You're just basically just supervising. And that's a very big key point. Now, my boy Drew's got another key point. I'm going to throw this up to him. All right, Drew, bring it on, buddy.
So in a nutshell, that is true. I do agree with that. Now, well, if you really want to get into a lead position, supervisor position, aside from everything that Mr. Call Center said, you also, and this is key, you want to build rapport with the manager that you have. Okay, that is key. And some people don't like to do that. They like to come to work, do what they do. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get my check and clock out. Yeah, you can do that 100%. But if you're looking to raise the ranks and get paid more and get off the phones, which is pretty much what everybody wants to do, get off the phones, you need to build rapport with the manager. What do I mean by that? So say you meet your manager initially in the interview. Of course, it's going to be interview questions, right? But if you ask them a question like, "Hey, when's your birthday? Or what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? What do you like to do hobby wise?" If you ask those questions in the interview and you get hired, guess what? You'll be able to remember that stuff. And whenever you run into your manager on a one on one or in the hallway or leaving the lunchroom, guess what? You'll be like, "Hey man, your birthday's coming up. Hey man, the other day I had some great pasta. I heard, you like pasta, right?" Or, "Hey man, I found a great hiking trail, man. You should definitely check it out." When you do stuff like that, you are building rapport with your manager. And guess what? Naturally, your manager is going to start to like you. Why? Because people like when other people ask them questions about themselves, because then they could talk about themselves. And if you remember those key points about that manager, guess what, man? You're going to be on the in no time. You see, in my experience, I used to do that. I used to go to these interviews, ask those personal questions. And when I mean personal, I don't mean too personal. I'm not going to ask them, how many times you use the bathroom per day or per week. I'm not going to ask stupid questions like that. I'm going to ask them, "Hey, what's your favorite color? What are some of your hobbies?" And some of the time I'll be lying. If they say, "Oh, you know what, I don't really have hobbies, but I love football." Guess what? I'm going to know what his favorite team is, and then I'm going to just, look at news highlights on Google about his team, and then I'll talk to him about it. "Hey, man, remember those Chiefs? You see those Chiefs last week? Yeah, man, they're nuts, man. They won the game. Ain't that something?" You know what I'm saying? So that's how you build rapport with your manager and rub elbows, and that's going to help you raise the ranks to lead if or supervisor, depending how you work that game with them. You see what I'm saying? Or her. You know what I mean? Definitely remember what they like, what they don't like, their favorites, their dislikes, because those will always be conversation pieces to have whenever you run into them. And second, with the rubbing elbows and building rapport, if your manager does any type of team outing or team meetings or anything like that, anything team building, definitely show up for it. Definitely show up for it, because then they'll be like, man, this guy comes to all the meetings. He comes to all the team building stuff. I like this dude. Team player, company man, and he knows some personal things about me. And then lastly, you want to ask for the position at a certain point. You want to be like, hey, look, I want to be a lead. How can I be a lead? You got to kind of build this up from the beginning, where you get your first, maybe say your third one-on-one with them, be like, hey, I want to be a supervisor at a certain point, or a team lead. What does it take? That way you put it in his head and he's like, you know what, I like this dude. He remembers things about me. He attends all functions and he wants to be a lead. I'm going to consider that guy. Just like Mr. Carlson has said, he's going to say, I like this guy. So that it is in a nutshell right there. And you have anything else, Mr. Carlson, you want to add?
Yeah, basically, I just want to go ahead and let you guys know that everything that we spoke with today is just a sample. We're going to have an ebook with a lot more detailed stuff, a lot longer. We're going to go ahead and cover everything, and I mean everything to help you guys out. And another thing I want you guys to know is that all these tips and points that we're pointing out, these aren't just for call centers. Almost any job that you try to get, these tips can help you out. Now, me and my boy Drew here, we're experienced in call centers. So, we've been through it all. So everything we're telling you, everything we're explaining to you, all the questions that we're answering for you, a lot of them can go ahead and help you out with any position, whether it's retail, whether it's tech, whether it's any type of business, whether it's financial, credit union, so forth and so forth. These can help you out a lot. So if you think this is just for call centers, is not. This type of advice can help you into any situation. Now, Jude, do you have any news on that ebook? I know that we've been covering a lot of material, and you've been trying to put it together, and we build up a lot of info. So, do you have any idea when we might be dropping that? What do you think, buddy?
Depending on how everything goes, we're aiming for the fall. This is going to be an ebook that you guys can grab. We're going to have one ebook that's going to be free. That's just going to be pretty much like the intro, but then the full ebook definitely in the fall. You know what I'm saying? And that's really going to level everyone up. If you read that, there is no reason why you can't become a lead or a supervisor in your customer service zone or industry, whichever one that you're in. Because again, we've done it all. In my tenure, I've been a lead, I've been a quality assurance person, I've been a mentor. I mean, I've managed people, I've hired people, I've done it all. Okay, ran two call centers in my tenure. I know the game very well. So yeah, that ebook, definitely the fall book. That's the timeline right there.
And lastly, you guys, keep it up with the comments. Any questions, anything that you want us to cover in these videos, anything that you want us to cover in that ebook, any questions that you want us to answer at all. You know what I mean? If you guys have any Reddit accounts and you want us to go up there and start, just spewing knowledge, we can go ahead and do that. Like I said, this is just an intro for right now. It's going to get even bigger, but I know a lot of people like you have a lot of questions, and there's not a lot of people online that can answer those questions. And that's why me and my boy Drew are doing this. So again, this isn't just for us to just start rambling on. This is to help you guys out. Everything we tell you, go ahead, put it to use. You be the judge. Is it helping? Is it not helping? Our ears are wide open.
Please like, sub, share, and hit the bell. We're dropping gems weekly. Otherwise, we out of here.